I was hoping for a beautiful spring day for this morning, for the last chapel of the school year, and I should begin by saying that some of my earlier remarks this morning will mirror what Reverend Hall has just said, and we probably should have coordinated it a little bit better beforehand, but it's okay to hear it twice. The weather, I made a deal with the weather gods that if it could rain today as long as we had beautiful weather next week, and they've told me that they'd honor that, so I'm hoping that's the case. But this is indeed, as Reverend Hall just said, the last chapel of the school year. Perhaps you've been waiting for one of us to utter those very words, and yes, summer is almost here, almost. But before we throw on our board shorts and our sunglasses, we have some final business to attend. Those who know Salisbury best know that the soul of the school community emanates from this very chapel. It all starts right here, in this building. We give and we say thanks. In here we acknowledge how fortunate we are in our lives, how blessed we are to have our friends and our mentors. We're safe, we're warm. In this chapel we talk about those we love and sometimes those we miss. Under this roof we sing about loyalty and honor. We think about our family, our Salisbury family. And one of the reasons today is special is, as Reverend Hall just said, is that this is indeed the last time that we will all be together. And not only for this school year, but forever. This morning's chapel and tomorrow at sit-down lunch. And after those moments, we will never fully be, all of us in this room, together again under one roof. Together as one. The faculty and the student body. So as Reverend Hall said, drink in the moment. Look around. Study the faces. Perhaps you're sitting next to a great friend. Someday, trust me on this, someday, much later in life, you will yearn for this moment. And you will look back and remember. So take a quick look to your left and to your right, and maybe give a pound to your pewmates. One of the things I want to do this morning is to say thank you to the class of 2017, the soon-to-be graduates, the class of 2017, the sixth form. And I speak for everyone when I say how much we appreciate the energy and the leadership that you have given the school this year. Starting with Julian and Foge and moving all the way through the class. You are indeed a very special group of Salisbury boys. And now, as we sit together, the hours are running short on your stay on this hilltop. Just 8 more days. 8 more days, a little less than 200 hours, and your journey comes to an end here. If you find yourself reflecting on your time as a knight, this morning, tonight, at the sixth form dinner, or any time in the next few days, that's a good thing. That's a normal thing. And I bet your reflections and your thoughts will include images of your friends and your mentors. I remember quite distinctly sitting where you are right now, about to turn 19, in the waning days of my prep school career, in another chapel. And what I remember is the people that meant most to me. That's what I was sitting there thinking about. My friends, my teachers, my coaches, those who helped me survive and prosper during a long journey. Like your classmate Troy said so eloquently a few days ago. I began this moment by saying that today's service is a special moment for our Salisbury faculty and family, and indeed it is. And the members of the class of 2017 aren't the only people that are departing at the conclusion of the school year. We have a few exceptional faculty members who are also headed in new directions. Each of them has served the school extremely well, and we wish them Godspeed in their new adventures. As you all know, saying goodbye to family members is hard. Hard but incredibly important, and truly meaningful. Next Friday, we'll celebrate graduation and all of you boys sitting here in the front. But today, In this moment, it's our honor to celebrate 7 Salisbury School faculty members and their distinguished service. This is an important tradition, honoring teachers in front of those who know them best, their colleagues and their students. And each has left an indelible mark and contributed to making our lives better and richer. And so I'll proceed in honoring these folks in order of service, years of service. And I begin with Sean Milano. Sean, can you raise your hand? I want to make sure I'm speaking to you. Mr. Milano came to the Hilltop 2 years ago from Canterbury School. He was a rising star, a math teacher extraordinaire. And as a Williams College guy and a highly recommended teacher, we knew he was going to be good. Still, I don't know if we knew how incredibly passionate at that time he is about teaching and coaching. And we probably underestimated how much he would add to our school community. We've been fortunate, to say the least. In the classroom, we strive to make difficult math concepts seem accessible. Your students remark about how hard you try to make sure that they find success. Their achievement is your achievement. That's passion. That's a mark of excellence. As a coach, your positive energy and enthusiasm always carries the day. Just one look at you on the football sidelines, jumping around, encouraging players, slapping them on their backsides for great plays and hustle, all the while wearing a set of wide receiver gloves, just classic good form. And coaching first base on the baseball diamond with true major league posture, brilliant. As an advisor, your boys are well cared for, and they're happy. In all of your endeavors, you've earned accolades from fellow colleagues on the faculty, and from the boys whose lives you've touched. Sean, you were made for this work. You, my friend, are a teacher of the highest caliber. It is truly your calling. I trust you'll stay with it for the long haul. As you leave Salisbury to return to Canterbury, you do so with our warmest congratulations on a job well done. Please come forward so that we can congratulate you. Kurt Nascimento. These past 3 years on the Salisbury School campus, you've sought to make a defining contribution in any and all arenas: teaching, coaching, mentoring, advising, the hoop court, the soccer field, the whole shebang. One of the traits that distinguishes you as a promising young independent school teacher is your savvy communication skills. You read kids well, and you know how to reach them. Empathy and interest are your calling cards. And in a boys' school where relational learning is championed, that's critical. And you make a real difference. You're also versatile. Hired as an English instructor, you've also shown an affinity for modern languages, including Spanish. On top of this, you've partnered with faculty colleague Meg Allen to promote greater understanding of difference in our community, including reflecting on the challenging issues of race, inclusion, and other critically important ideals. Helping all of our boys learn how to make positive contributions in a culturally diverse and complex world. On the soccer pitch and hoop court, you awe us with your love of sport. And boys love to joust with you. And you balance competition with instruction and humility. We feel blessed to have had this chance to serve with you, Bert. And you will be missed by your students and friends on the Hilltop. The game plan includes heading east to Buzzards Bay and live and work at Tabor Academy. They're awfully lucky to have you. We wish you well. Congratulations, Bert. Coming to Salisbury fresh out of Middlebury College, it was no surprise that David brought with him great promise and a fondness for academic excellence as well as athletic excellence. And over these past 4 years, his work in the sciences, biological and environmental, and in athletic pursuits, on the ski slopes of Butternut, on Lake Wanonscompomic with the sailors, and on his mountain bike, all of it has earned him many admirers. He is a trusted advisor and a vigilant dorm parent. However, it is in the classroom, in the sciences, that he truly makes his mark. He is a bright light in the field, and his students are better off because of his insight, his patience, and his unabashed enthusiasm for their success. His enthusiasm and excitement to the study of science at Salisbury is alluring. He is a champion of these studies, and his legacy is the burgeoning tiny house program, which has become a distinguished part of our curriculum. As he heads off to his next teaching assignment, he does so with our thanks and our blessing on a terrific next leg of his journey. And we know that he will bring many, many talents to his new endeavors as he has done so here on the hilltop. David, thank you for your deep care for students and your passion for all things Salisbury. You will really be missed as a colleague, as a coach, as an advisor, as a teacher, and as a friend to so many. You leave this hilltop with many, many, many admirers. Please come forward so that we can congratulate you on your service. A decade ago, we were in search of an experienced and wise college advisor and heard that Emily Debbie had moved into town. With a wealth of experience at such schools as Noble in Reno, Harvard Westlake, and Agnes Irwin in Philadelphia, she was a battle-tested veteran of the college advising process. And they say that timing is everything, and in this particular case, it was true and so right. Initially, she joined with Chris Adamson and Bobby Wynn to lead the effort of matching sixth formers with excellent college choices. And we saw quickly how good she was at this work. She demonstrated a keen ability to develop close partnerships with students, and she possessed vast knowledge of an incredibly complex and ever-changing process and college landscape. She sought to create strong relationships with college admissions directors who trusted her recommendations and opinions about students. And she did all of this exceptionally well while raising two wonderful daughters. She brings a sense of purpose to everything that she does. A new and exciting opportunity at Dexter School in Boston now presents itself, and we cheer her decision to take this path, despite the fact that we will miss a very valuable member of our faculty in the years to come. Emily's Salisbury chapter is concluding, but she certainly has many wonderful adventures ahead, beginning this fall in the shadows of Fenway Park and her beloved Red Sox. We are rooting for her all the way. Please congratulate her when you see her. Jamie and Brian Finney. It seems right to celebrate you and your combined time on the hilltop together. And let me begin with Mrs. Finney, or Jimmer as I've always known her. I first met Jimmer in the fall of 1984. She was a precocious 4-year-old, the daughter of a man who would go on to be assistant headmaster here at Salisbury, Mr. David Hagerman. And so in many respects, the hilltop is home to Mrs. Finney. And through the years, I, along with others, cheered her many accomplishments from afar. The quintessential student athlete and an even better person. She returned to the hilltop in the winter of 2006 with teammates on the U.S. women's hockey team and played our varsity to basically a draw, save for a late goal from future NHLer Mark Arcabello. But a bronze medal in Torino followed, and certainly other adventures too. You want me to take the picture now? No chance. Mr. Finney found a circuitous route to the hilltop. In the winter of 2010, we were looking for a young fellow to intern in admissions and do some coaching for us. It was the middle of the year, so prospects were a little dim. However, once again, the stars aligned, and I was referred to a young Middlebury graduate who sounded promising. I checked with a trusted source, a guy I knew really well, and I heard the words gritty and he's a winner. Bingo. So I got the number and I cold called Mr. Finney. He was in Sweden, so the connection was a little spotty, but the conversation wasn't. it was anything but. And after 10 minutes on the phone, I hired him, right there during the phone call. Never done it before or since. I was that sure that Brian Finney and Salisbury School were made for each other. And for the last 8 years, he has served faithfully with his whole heart. Yes, gritty and competitive, but also thoughtful, loyal, a most sought-after advisor, principled, disciplined, a great sense of humor, the consummate schoolman. A few years into his career, he met a young lady from Groton School at an admissions function. And wouldn't you know it, she was Jamie Hagerman, the magic of Salisbury working overtime. And it wasn't long before the question was popped, but was it Jamie or Brian who did the asking? The wedding was an instant classic, a who's who of the prep school world. And for the last 4 years, the Finneys have been at the heart of Salisbury culture and community. Admissions work, college advising, coaching, neuroscience, academic advising, dorm parenting, fitness training, barbecues, the list goes on. And with great acclaim, baby George arrived 2 years ago in June. What a love. What a special little boy. And they demonstrated for all of us the strength of love and family. All three of you have made incredible, indelible marks on our lives. And we are so blessed. Alas, a little-known school in Andover, Massachusetts beckons. And as much as we hate the thought, it's the right move for Team Finney. Know that you are beloved here, and always will be. Know that this hilltop will forever be home to your family. You met here, you were married in this very chapel, you started your family here. We know that you are leaving parts of your hearts here on this hilltop, and we are heartbroken to say goodbye to you. But we'll leave the light on, because you know that you can and will always come home again. And I'm hoping it will come true again someday. Godspeed, my dear friends. Please come forward. And finally, Samuel Simmons. Late tomorrow morning, one of the very best men we have ever known will conclude a teaching career that has spanned well over 4 decades. Beginning in the Green Mountains of Vermont, and then for 20 years in the bucolic village of South Kent. And finally, for the last 2 decades, right here on this beautiful hilltop, Sam Simmons has blessed countless students and colleagues with incredible care, humor, partnership, and wisdom. He is a dear friend, a trusted advisor, a rock of fairness, stability, and good sense. Last week, a dinner was held in his honor, and friends and colleagues, including numerous Salisbury colleagues who beat him to retirement, had a chance to celebrate his remarkable career as a prep school teacher. And one of the many virtues extolled was Mr. Simmons' habit of being present at every school event. Just as Reverend Hall said this morning, for 20 years at Salisbury School, Mr. Simmons has been present. The consummate schoolman, a man built for others, a man on whom others can count. I bet you're wondering where it all began. Well, early on, it started on the windswept fields of Wayzata, Minnesota, and then the mean streets of Haverford, PA. And from there, Mr. Simmons made his way to South Kent School as a 10th grader, where he shined brightly in the classroom and on outdoor hockey rinks all over New England. That's a Jerry Cosby special helmet he's wearing in that picture. Next up, it was up to UVM for college, where he met a lovely girl named Mick, who quickly would become his partner in crime. Starring for the Catamounts, a slick skating puck handler with a bushy stash to boot. After graduation, the choices were the Peace Corps or teaching English at Bellows Free Academy in St. Albans. Maybe it was the fact that the assignment in the Peace Corps was thousands of miles away from a hockey rink. Or maybe the allure of being close to Mick was the deciding factor. But nonetheless, teaching English and coaching hockey in Vermont won out. After a few years, a call from a former headmaster at South Kent School came, and the growing Simmons family moved back to familiar grounds. That's a classic. Sam did just about everything there: teaching, coaching, chairing, director of admissions, Zamboni driver, everything, including bringing South Kent School to prominence in the New England boys hockey scene. Those early South Kent School, Salisbury School games back in the day, pitting coaches Simmons versus Corkery, were battles. Truth be told, often all-out wars. And then one day, Mr. Simmons answered a call from then headmaster, Salisbury School headmaster Dick Flood. You see, Salisbury was in need of an assistant headmaster, and Schoolmaster Simmons was our first and only choice. It might have taken a little convincing, but we got our man, and I can only liken it to the Yankees fleecing the Red Sox of the mighty Babe, the steal or deal of the century. And so for the last 20 years, Mr. Simmons has been one of the most influential and revered adults on this campus. At his core, he is a teacher, whether in the English classroom, talking about baseball literature, in the rink, in his office, or at the dining room table. He has so much wisdom for us to absorb. In addition to all the attributes and contributions cited, Mr. Simmons also leaves a lasting legacy, the Reflective Teaching Initiative, which inspires us to share best practices in and outside the classroom in the teaching of boys. He's just a remarkable man, teacher, mentor, and friend. Today I'm reminded of an old James Taylor tune when I think of Sam. It's titled, "You've Got a Friend." You may have heard it on the radio. One of the lines is, winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you gotta do is call, and I'll be there. And you always have it. Always. The best. The very best. Hopefully we'll see you in the corners from time to time. Retiring colleague, Mr. Sam Simmons.